Hi.
Good morning.
We've had a number of questions from viewers over the last few weeks and months, which really boil down to one thing, and that is, how have you afforded to retire early? Now, first thing we've got to get out of the way is we're not rich. In fact, far from it. And when we started this journey, if anything, we were poor. We were part of the super poor. So what we want to do is give you some inspiration. If this is a journey that you're on yourself and you want to achieve this, through these videos, we want to help you get on your way. We can't quite believe that we're sat here on a balcony in our early 50s looking at the Mediterranean Sea. And to be honest, this could have worked out a whole lot differently.
We know that our viewers are very varied, and in fact our analytics are telling us that we have viewers in over 70 countries. Can you believe that? Albeit probably one person in some of those countries.
Yep, Argentina, we're looking at you here. Up your game.
So the questions we get are mainly around the finance and the financial independence, and to a lesser extent the travel. So what we're hoping to do in these next few videos is to tell you our journey and enable you to do your own blueprint for your own journey to FIRE.
Yeah, and we actually spent some time a few days ago sat in a coffee shop and started to build out what this single video would be. And let me just tell you what we wanted to cover. We wanted to break down some misconceptions, maybe about us and about the whole financial independence journey type thing. And we wanted to talk about the kind of person that would have the expertise to build this kind of wealth. We had, I'm reading this because this is actually what we wrote down in the coffee shop. We wanted to talk about the confidence the person would need to have the audacity to take this kind of plan on for themselves.
Sell everything, sell the house.
Yeah, exactly. Then we wanted to talk about money and our journey in finance in our younger days, and then how we started to go through our wealth building phase and what we do with our finance today. And we wanted to share our biggest fails, our most impressive successes. We wanted to talk about wealth and some different strategies for doing that, and then we wanted to talk about what our investment strategy is today going forward. Then I sat down on this very balcony starting to write the script. It was huge, far too much information. So what we've decided to do is break it down over a few videos which are going to be coming over the next few weeks. Today's video is all about the misconceptions. Misconceptions about us. You might be looking at us going, we're not as clever as them.
Don't worry about it.
No, there are friends of ours that watch these videos. You friends, put in the comments just how clever Neil and Sarah are, because they know. And if you're looking at us and through these videos, you're thinking, yeah, it's all right for them, then you're really missing the point. And if you do think that, we should stop making these videos absolutely. Now. Our objective isn't to gloat and go, look at what a wonderful life we've got. Our objective is to say to you, literally, if we can do it, there is a high chance that you can. So next week we're going to be sharing all of our financial fails. Well, we've got a few of those this week actually, and some of the successes, and actually how we built the wealth and put our money together ready for our retirement. Also, we've had a number of questions from viewers about geo arbitrage and travel, and don't worry, all of those are in the planning. They are going to be coming in the next few weeks. So we are in a wonderful location. Sarah says we're on the turquoise coast here in Turkey. There's a couple of places we want to show you while we start going through those misconceptions.
We are in this lovely spot just outside Cash, and as you can see, stunning view over the turquoise Mediterranean Sea. We don't actually think it's got a name, this place, but if you are here and want to find it, just look for the helipad and come down the stairs and you're here. It's stunning. So, on to misconceptions.
Yeah, before we do that, we should tell you a bit about who we are. I'm Neil, this is Sarah. We're an early retired couple. We sold everything we own to travel the world for the next 10 years.
Sharing our thoughts on everything retirement, travel and money along the way.
Yes, and Sarah, this is the moment. This is the moment where we have the quickfire round on why you should listen to Neil and Sarah about finance and retirement. Sarah, calm down.
Neither of us went to university.
Neither of us were given a leg up in life when we were young. That is, when Aunt Ermintrude died, we didn't get a payout from that, and we weren't given cars when we graduated from school. Well, I don't think I did graduate from school, but you get the point of what I'm saying.
Neither of us were class captains at school, and to say Neil didn't take school seriously was a vast understatement.
I had to move out at the age of 17. No college, no easy ride. I needed to go out straight away and start working. I moved into a shared house without heating and no double glazed windows. And in fact, my landlord in the winter would pin polythene to the windows and call it double glazing. And every morning, part of my routine was scraping the ice off the inside.
I moved out at the age of 21, and from then on I was self-sufficient.
We're going to be talking all things money, retirement, finance over the coming videos. But at school, I wasn't even put in for a maths exam. I was put in for CSE arithmetic. That was until my dad went to the school to discuss it with them, because he could be a little bit persuasive at times. You may be wondering, what's a CSE? Well, let me explain. And this comes from Wikipedia, so this is real. The CSE was introduced to provide a set of qualifications available to a broader range of school children, and distinctly different from the O-level that were aimed at academic pupils. So to the next bit about world travellers. Have we got the experience for something like that? Are we special in some way? Well, no, I am, but I'm not so sure Sarah is. Let's see.
I'm special.
Oh, okay.
Well, again, we come at this with very little experience. Neither of us have lived in any other countries.
And neither of us have worked in any other countries. If I take me, for example, I've had stints working in South Africa and odd trips to places like New York, but not actually working there.
As a project manager, I would travel abroad for work. I would literally get on the plane, get off the plane, get in a car, go to the hotel, go to the conference facility, get back in the car, back to the airport and back home.
Funny aside here actually, as we were looking at travel to Turkey, we had a conversation. I said to Sarah, you've worked in Antalya, haven't you, which is in Turkey. What's it like? And she literally forgot she'd even been to Turkey or Antalya, and she was there probably a year or two ago. So, no, we don't really have that expertise either. So I wouldn't say that we're exactly seasoned travellers. When we used to vacation, we go to resort areas and rarely venture out into the country itself. So I always felt that we were not really travelling, and felt to an extent we were missing out. I know these days kids, they finish school and then they do a gap year. That's what the cool kids all do anyway. That didn't happen for us when we were younger.
Then when we started on our journey to financial independence, we discussed exactly what we'd like to do in our retirement. Things like take more holidays. Neil wanted to write more music. I think he thinks he's in craft work or something. We wanted to learn new skills, we wanted to make new hobbies, and we wanted to improve our fitness. So we were looking at doing hikes in the UK.
So that's where we were at that point. And then we were watching YouTube one day and we came across a couple of YouTubers called Cara and Nate. I'm sure many people watching this will know them. Lovely, sweet young couple travelling the world. And actually they showed us a side of the world that really we didn't know existed. We had our own kind of baked in view of what the world was like. So watching Cara and Nate was a big change moment for us.
And we battled with our capabilities and fears. Could we actually do it? It felt very scary and it was way outside of our comfort zone. Could we actually travel like that? But after many months, we discussed it and came to the realisation this is our only life. Better to regret the things we did rather than the things we didn't do.
Just look how clear that water is. Absolutely incredible. I don't know the last time I saw water like that, but it is splashing over my foot. Gotta tell you, I don't really fancy swimming in there. Right, we mentioned the helipad. Let's take you up there now as we start to talk about our early financial life. in the distance over there is actually Greece. That's a Greek island. You can take a boat from Cash over to there. They've got a little passport control office and that will take you in. And look at that down there. Isn't it glorious? Sarah?
It is stunning. So now things are going to get a little more personal. In fact, we're going to tell you some things that we've never told anyone before. So it's going to be our little secret, okay? Before Neil and I met, we learned about money the hard way, and that's guided some of the philosophy for how we manage our money together now. We're not going to go into details here though, but we're going to give you a few little snippets. Take it away, Neil.
Yeah, okay, I will do. Now, a lot of this is going to appear like advice, but it's not. This is more learned experience from me and Sarah when we were just young whippersnappers. So let's start at the beginning. I bought my first house very early. I think I was about 18 or 19, and Sarah similarly. And this was in the late 80s, just as the housing market was rocketing in the UK. And because we were wet behind the ears, we didn't really know what was going on. We would go into properties separately. Remember, me and Sarah, we weren't together at this point, but we'd go viewing properties, and as we were in there, there'll be 3 or 4 other people viewing the same property, and people stood in bedrooms and in kitchens making offers on the property, which was way overvalued. I didn't really know what to do. I thought this was normal. So I bought property very young. And then, with this housing boom going on, the UK government decided to cool all of this by increasing interest rates. And interest rates went up to an eye-watering 15%. That is, if you think about your mortgage today, about 3% over a 25-year mortgage, imagine you're now having to pay 2.5, almost 3 times per month what you're paying. That's what I was in for. So basically, before we met, me and Sarah were coming together with a whole lot of debt. Crazy amount of debt, to be honest. And at the time in the UK, all the news was about people handing their keys in on properties and walking away with negative equity and basically wiping out their home loans. I chose not to do that. Add to that, at the same time, also in my early 20s, I started a business. And that business failed in quite spectacular fashion. I'm not going to go into detail here, but if I ever meet you and you want to ask that question, I'll tell you, but it's about as spectacular a failure as anyone could ever have. So we've learned a lot in our early days about money and about investment and business. All of it a little bit skewed. But Sarah, what did we learn specifically?
Other people seem to do really well in the housing market, but for us, all it ever did was burn us badly. So we will never use property as a vehicle to invest. Also, starting a business at such an early age is highly ambitious and foolhardy. It will end in tears.
As we said at the start of this video, this is our experience. This is not advice. So I don't want you putting in the comments here, that's crazy talk. Of course you can make money in the property market. Or business, that's one of the best ways to make, we know that. We're telling you what we learned at an early age when we didn't really know what we were doing. We would like to hear in the comments below your experiences in the housing market and in business, whether it all worked out for you or you had similar challenges to us. A lovely kicker to this is because of all the financial difficulties I had, having to pay off my losses on a business and mortgages that I just couldn't afford. I couldn't afford to eat. So what I did is I took out a number of credit cards, and then what I did with those credit cards is I used it to buy food and essential supplies, and then I would take each of those and withdraw cash to pay off the minimum balances on the other cards. I was spiraling badly.
Then we met. We were both in our early 30s.
Come back next week where we're going to share some of our fails. Some of them were epic, and we'll take you on the journey of where we went next and also what we invest in now.
We'll also share how we saved and our approach to our investments. So if you've liked this video, which has been quite personal to be honest, please give us a thumbs up, and if you have any questions whatsoever, pop them in the comments below.
But you've been watching To Go Rome. We'll see you next time. Bye.